Memorial Day weekend has just passed, so guess what that means? It is unofficially summer already. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. The Santa Maria here, and yes, spring is basically out the door. The swimming pool is now open, the sun is out, I'm in shorts, so that means I can share my favorite fragrances of spring 2023. These are the fragrances not that I anticipated wearing or nothing like that. These are the fragrances I actually wore, the ones that brought me the most joy and I kept reaching for, and it was just a total mood and a vibe for the season. As always, lipstick of the day, everyone. We have MAC. This is Mangrove. As you can tell, I'm in my summer lipstick season. Kind of matches my nails somewhat. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and it'll be in the description box as always. Next up, we have fragrance of the day. This is one I'm shocked I'm reaching for right now, but it's a vibe and I'm craving it. This is Tiziana Terenzi Deluxe. This is a coffee, rose, and honey type of scent. Normally something like that would be reserved for the fall, but for some reason, this is working in the heat, and I'm gonna be reaching for you more often. Tiziana Terenzi Deluxe is your fragrance of the day. So all in all, I have about, 7 fragrances. They are a mix of designer and niche fragrances. So there is literally something in here for everyone. There are some new releases in here, but the majority of these have been out for a long time. So yeah, that's that. The first fragrance I want to talk about, this is one that I have owned this for over a year. I want to say almost 2 years at this point. You can find it at Sephora. I don't know why, but when I tell you, I have been loving this scent. I've been wearing it nonstop, and I'm glad I bought the 100 ml of it. This is from the brand Clean Reserve, and this is Clean Reserve Skin, you all. Let me tell you something. The best way to sum this fragrance up is, I know everybody was talking about clean girl aesthetic and all that for a minute. Clean girl aesthetic, but gourmand edition. That is what this scent is in a nutshell. That's all you need to know. So this scent, it has on here, it's described as a floral musk, but you all, there's literally a note of praline in here. It's a musky scent, it's a skin scent, but it also has vanilla in here. And when I tell you, it's sweet. It's subtly gourmandy sweet, and I've been loving this as a cozy scent. Even when you look it up, like on Sephora or their official website, Clean Reserve, they have it written up as a cozy scent, close to each other, intimate type of scent. It is that. And let me tell you something, that's what I've been wearing it for, to cuddle on the couch with the head elf. And every time I wear this, he loves it. He says I smell good. So this has become my cuddle scent, and yeah, that's why I keep reaching for it, because we want to keep that energy going. Clean Reserve Skin definitely starts the list off for sure. The next fragrance I want to talk about is from the house of Marc Jacobs, and Marc Jacobs always cranks out fragrances, so you have to be very specific with which one you talk about. In this case, we're talking about Marc Jacobs Daisy, but we're talking about Marc Jacobs Daisy, the oh so intense version. This is the newest one, came out about 2021, 2022, somewhere in there. I'll do his full dedicated review because it definitely deserves it, but check it out. It's this bottle. So it has the classic Daisy bottle, but the difference is it has the gold here, ombre effect going on when you see it on counter. This is actually still on counter in Ulta because I went to Ulta recently. Very good of a scent. So the reason I have enjoyed this one so much for spring is because it has a strawberry note, and there's also a honey note in here. Just wow. It still has that classic Daisy DNA, but to me that strawberry and that honey definitely take it to the next level. And this is one that I noticed I reached for more and more as it started to warm up outside. So this became a favorite towards, say, that late April going into May vibe. I was just reaching for, particularly on the weekends. It was my hangout scent. That's just the best way to put this. So whenever we would go and eat at a burger joint, they had a patio, that type of thing, I would wear this. So I'm enjoying Marc Jacobs Daisy Oh So Intense. Definitely highly underrated fragrance. I know people kind of like, oh, we've been on Daisy since forever, but no. Please definitely check out the Oh So Intense version, because I still will be reaching for this in the summer, because like I told you, this works well as it gets warmer, and obviously we're heading into the heat season for sure. Marc Jacobs Daisy Oh So Intense definitely was a favorite for spring 2023. Now this next fragrance is no stranger to the channel. In fact, it has a dedicated review already, and I can't stop talking about it enough. This was the one that made a believer out of me, and the fragrance I'm referring to is from Burberry, and it is the Burberry Her, the Elixir version. This one came out in fall 2022, and you all know the story. I went and got it as soon as it dropped. Loved it, had to have it. The rest is history, and I'm still reaching for it going on, what's this, 6-7 months later. So it is a yes. It's interesting because it was a fall release, but I have loved this more in the spring than I absolutely did in the fall. It was okay in the fall, it was cute, but in the spring, it woke up. This is another one that has a strawberry note. So okay, me and strawberry are having a moment. It has a lot of berries in it too. I know blackberries in here. There's some jasmine here, but it has a ton of vanilla and sandalwood, so this makes it smell like a creamy strawberry milkshake. Y'all have heard that reference over and over. That's what it is. Creamy strawberry milkshake. It is good. And most importantly, this one lasts for sure. Now the other two I mentioned, they're a little bit on the softer side, a little bit on the airy side. But if you want something that's gonna go the distance and you don't have to touch up, it really lasts all day in my opinion. Burberry Her Elixir. Wow. Wow, it is so good. And I've been noticing too, the 50 ml be selling out because I had tried to look it up recently and all I could see was like the 1 ounce and then the 3 ounce size. I said, okay, where's the 50 ml? So yeah, I picked up my 50 ml from Macy's. So I want to mention that because I know other people probably have been looking for it too, but the Burberry Her Elixir was a star for spring. For sure. Okay, this next one is also part of the new release category. Now this was a new release back in February. When I tell you this was a blind buy, but a blind buy gone well, and that exceeded my expectations. You know the story, the full dedicated review is already up on the channel, but I am referring to Giorgio Armani's My Way parfum. This is the latest flanker in the My Way lineup. I'm glad now it's out on counters and on display. I know Ulta had it when I went in there so people could actually smell it, and they had all the sizes because when I bought it, all they had was this one size. But y'all, let me tell you something. This is nuclear. I did not expect this to be as nuclear as it is. When I tell you to be a designer fragrance, Armani shattered my expectations of what I thought this fragrance was going to be. You all, the orange blossom in here, that powdery iris in here, it's just nuclear. It's tuberose, like I said, orange blossom, and it also has vanilla bourbon in here too, which I said that explains why it has that heavier, woodier base in this. Whew. This is a scent that takes you on a journey. This is another one, kind of like how the Burberry Her Elixir I told you lasts all day. This is another one. It lasts all day. Please go light on the sprays because whoo, you will choke yourself out. This was a winner in the springtime because it's so sweet and it dried into a powdery sweet. So it ended up being enough by the end of the day. So I was like, I like the journey this one took me on, and it was just fun and happy. Now, will I be wearing this going into the summer? I don't know, because that opening again is whew, something serious. But Armani did their thing when they made this new parfum version. The other My Ways, they're cute, but like I told y'all, I never felt the reason to buy those. But this one, even as a blind buy, I'm happy with, because a little bit goes a very long way. Giorgio Armani's My Way, the parfum, definitely makes the spring favorite list for 2023. Now, would this really be a spring countdown list without a Bond No. 9 fragrance? Y'all know me by now. Y'all know I love my Bonds. I did a whole favorite Bond No. 9 for spring fragrances type of video. I linked it up top too, because I tell y'all, because in my opinion, Bond No. 9's best season, in my opinion, is spring. They do spring so well, at least for the ladies line. The gentlemen, I don't know. Y'all have to chime in for yourselves. Let me know which season is your favorite for Bond. But to me, Bond does spring so well, because they just know how to capture that fresh greenness and airiness so well. I don't know how they do it, but they put it in a bottle and bottle it, and I buy it. Here we are. But the fragrance I want to talk about that absolutely makes the list, and I said this was my favorite for spring in that video, I'm gonna say it again. Bond No. 9 Hudson Yards. This is not a new one. It's been around for a minute. This is one that people don't talk about as much because of the fact so many have come out since, but Hudson Yards is that girl, y'all. It's that girl. There's lily of the valley in it, got some freesia in it, and then personally, it has some lychee in here too. You can just smell the fresh grassness and again everything. It just literally smells like when the birds start to chirp, the spring is running, maybe the ducks done had some ducklings. It just smells like all of that, but in a bottle, but in a very pleasant and floral way that's just divine. It's just whew, such a good fragrance. Definitely was a suggested blind buy, but it went well. Very happy about this, and it was a favorite for spring, y'all. Bond No. 9 Hudson Yards. Speaking of Bond No. 9, this one was a pickup this year, earlier in the year, but I knew I wanted it because I had tested it more than once, and it is also Bond No. 9 fragrance, but it is so good. I honestly thought I was gonna save this fragrance for the summertime, but I couldn't help it, and for some reason I kept reaching for it in the springtime. This is Bond No. 9's The Scent of Peace for Her. This is a fragrance you all know I went through mental gymnastics about. Do I really need this? I mean, it's so light, it's so chill, do I really need a niche, like subtle chill fragrance? The answer is yes, because I have been reaching for this a lot more than I thought I would. Yo, there's some grapefruit in here. I know there's some blackcurrant in here, and there's musk. This is just an easy scent when you just know you smell good. You just do. And you don't have to worry about it. It's that I smell good, but I'm not trying too hard. It's just what I do. If you like it, fine. If you don't, oh well, I'm still doing me. That is scent of peace for her. And I just, so good. And the fact that I'm actually about to head into the real season for it, which is summer, that means I'm gonna really be putting a dent in this bottle, because I already got me a nice little dent going up here, I see. But it's real season, it's summer, but yeah, I got a head start. Hey, I live in the South, so that's fine. Bond number 9, the scent of peace for her. And the last fragrance to round out my favorite fragrances for spring 2023 is from the house of Tiziana Terenzi. This is a fragrance, again, I bought it to be a summer scent last year, and I did rock it last summer, but it was giving me what I needed for spring this year. And the fragrance I'm referring to is none other than Tiziana Terenzi's Cassiopeia, you all. Y'all know I've been posting about Cassiopeia. You've seen it as a fragrance of the day. When I had a fragrance sale going with Jomashop, y'all saw that. I made sure to emphasize this is the one to get. I mean, hello, I have it myself. And next month I'll make 1 entire year I've had this fragrance. So that's how you know it's real, and I'm still reaching for it. Y'all, it's fresh, juicy candy. Oh, it's so good. It has tonka bean in here. There's some cassis berries. It's freshness, lily of the valley. Y'all know anything with lily of the valley, I'm here for it. It's passion fruit going on up in here. It's just good, y'all. It's just good. This is one of those fragrances that I did sample first, and I was like, oh, this is really, really nice. And I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna get it. It was a month later and I ordered a full bottle of it. So I definitely went through the whole process of it. This was one of the fragrances that helped me discover Tiziana Terenzi, and one of the fragrances that I truly have fallen in love with. Absolutely one of the best scents that they make, and it's not too heavy. This one is actually softer in comparison to a lot of her other scents. So for those that are interested in like maybe saying starting their Tiziana Terenzi journey, I highly recommend Cassiopeia as an entry one, because it's not over the top. It is pleasant, but definitely niche because it's well blended, but it's just good, y'all. It's just good. And I'm gonna keep wearing it in the summertime too. So if you see it on the summer list, you know why. It's just that good. Tiziana Terenzi's Cassiopeia definitely rounds out my spring favorites for 2023 list. And by the way, I do have a full dedicated review already up about this fragrance. It is up on the channel, you all, so definitely check that out. So that wraps up my list of my favorites. These were the fragrances that just brought me the most joy. I found myself reaching for, even when I wasn't necessarily wearing them on certain days. I still wanted to smell them, so they just really made me happy for spring 2023. So those are my fragrances, elves. Let me know, what are your favorites? What is your roundup, or are you still figuring it out? Technically, summer doesn't start till June 21st, somewhere around there, so you actually still have time, but I'm already in summer mode, okay? We're here. So those are my fragrances, and as always, I will catch y'all in the next video. Bye, elves.